Oh, Microslop. Let's get down to business, ladies and gentlemen. So, yesterday there was a big thing about Xbox. Okay, Xbox, for anybody that doesn't know, is obviously one of the biggest gaming juggernauts, or used to be, in the world. You know, I used to grow up playing Xbox 360 stuff. I was a fan of the old Halo. I was playing my Gears of War a little bit. Nowadays, I'm mostly fallen out of favor of Xbox. So yesterday, some big things happened, okay? Phil Spencer, the former boss of Xbox, left alongside Sarah Bond. Now, I'm not a fan of Phil Spencer. I know that he games. I know that he plays. I know that I can sit in a bar and talk about, Ultima Online with that guy for like hours. But I had a lot of disagreements, okay? I thought the guy was pushing AI slop in games like Call of Duty. I thought the guy was not so friendly to physical media, which is why most Xbox games I don't even buy because they don't come on the disc, okay? Buy a copy of Halo Infinite. Can't even install it without the internet, okay? You know, no good reason, okay? There's just no owning physical media anymore. Game Pass, yada yada yada. Xbox turned into something that honestly I just don't think is there for the gamer in the first place, or there for somebody that actually cares about game preservation whatsoever. Anyways, that's not the point, because he's gone. And who did they replace him with, ladies and gentlemen? They replaced him with an individual known as Asha Sharma. Now, Asha Sharma is the new CEO of Xbox, and so, people decided to do a little bit of a deep dive into her. They were like, what did she used to do, Muda? Was she a big old gamer? Now, I didn't confirm if she was a gamer whatsoever. Maybe she has some experience playing Candy Crush. Maybe she plays some Halo. I wouldn't know. But what I decided to do was look into her LinkedIn over here, and she used to work at, Meta. She used to be the VP of Product and Engineering, COO at Instacart, the board member of Home Depot, but at Microsoft, she used to actually work for the Core AI product division for 2 years and 2 months out of her 15-year career. She was leading the product portfolio for AI models, apps, agents, responsible AI, and developer tools. So yeah, you know who's running Xbox now? One of the former AI bosses at Microslop. You know, there's part of me that just wants to fucking die. Like, I want to actually blow my brains out. Because when is this dragon gonna stop being chased? So look at Microsoft's Core AI. For anybody that doesn't know, let's look through January 13, 2025. This is an actual blog from them where they talk about what Core AI is. We will build agentic applications with memory, entitlements, and action space that will inherit powerful model capabilities. And we will adapt these capabilities for enhanced performance and safety across roles, business practices, industry domains. We're going to build, deploy, and maintain code and basically design applications that are fundamentally changing and becoming agentic. So remember, the reason why Microslop feels so ass these days, okay, like perfect levels of ass, is that Microslop doesn't want Windows to be the next operating system that you use with a keyboard and mouse that people are generally used to using, right? They want you to sit in front of your computer, in front of your microphone, and go, Microsoft, write me a document. Okay, what document do you want me to write? Write me something about, climate change, for instance. And so Microsoft's going to send one agent out into the internet to look up everything about fucking climate change. They're going to have another agent that grabs that information and writes the fucking, research, analyzes it, and then a third agent who takes that and then actually writes the report, okay? That's the future of Windows, okay? Windows is future in 2030 and beyond, okay? According to Microsoft even, is they don't want you to just use your computer. They want you to talk to your computer. And here's the problem with that is, if you really look at it in the most pessimistic way, and I do, that basically means that I think at some point Microsoft wants you to basically be comfortable with having like a really thin client on your system where basically your computers are going to be a little small box that as soon as you power on, it's probably going to look for a connection to Microsoft or whatever their service is. It's going to find that connection. Without the connection, it can't do anything. anything. Once it finds a connection, you can log into your account, okay, your Windows account, and then you can use your AI system. So everything is tied to the internet, and ultimately, no matter how you crisscross it, they will be the arbiters on what applications you can play around with, what AI you can play around with, what you can even do with the artificial intelligence. If it doesn't fit into their parameters, it might not be allowed. That is the most pessimistic way to look at it, and ultimately you do have to look at it this way because that's just how these systems tend to work. Now, obviously, I wanted to look at her, and again, I wanted to give people the benefit of the doubt in this situation because even though that she worked for artificial intelligence, is she the most evil person that you could imagine for this? I don't think she is. I think she is an actual tech bro, okay? I think she's more of a tech AI bro than she is an actual gaming bro. And that's just not gonna work here. So anyways, I decided to pull up her actual like shit where she came in and gave her little statement. Dear team, today I begin my role as CEO of Microsoft Gaming. I feel two things at once, humility and urgency. And you know what I feel right now? I feel a little bit of Copilot used in this message. I don't know. I can read the AI cadence these days. So I don't know. I'm feeling there's a lot of Copilot used here. But to be fair, I'm pretty sure Phil Spencer is probably using Copilot for most of his PR releases anyways, too. That's what this is. This is PR, by the way, before we go in. Humility because his team has built something extraordinary over decades, and they've ruined it in years, by the way. So anyways, to go down, she says first they're going to go for great games. So everything begins here. We must have great games beloved by players before we do anything. Unforgettable characters, stories that make us feel. We're going to empower our studios. Invest in iconic franchises. By the way, they just laid off and shut down how many studios in Microsoft? Because they decided to buy Activision and then pimp out Call of Duty with AI assets. Remember, even under Phil Spencer, games like Call of Duty, okay, with Black Ops 6 or Black Ops 7, whatever Black Ops that they're on, okay? All right? underneath Microsoft, the developers, and this is a Steam content disclosure that says we use generative AI to develop in-game assets. Before the AI girl came into office, okay, before she became president, Black Ops was not joking around with having AI assets. So from Black Ops 6, some people looked at paid bundles and they looked at actual like loading screens and they saw that, whoa, this shit looks like AI slop to me. And it really does look like AI slop. It actually is AI slop. For instance, look at this image right over here. Zoom into the corner. You can actually visibly see the AI slop architecture. So again, this is the future of gaming, at least according to Microsoft. What is the next big prompt that can make us tons of money? Instead of paying somebody to actually, put together something, this is a tool called Osu AI. Now, you ever heard of the esports organization's TSM? So, for instance, this is an AI that people, talked about. They said a lot of shit for it, rightfully so. But for instance, you can prompt it, girl with neon hair and holographic jacket. So you ask it to create it, and the AI is going to make a 3D model that you can put into Minecraft. Now, just imagine, Microsoft probably looks at this and thinks, fuck hiring an artist. Fuck hiring anybody that knows that. Shit, just like generate everything. Give people the ability to prompt what they want and generate stuff. And of course, while it's still building right now, to show you that you can actually build entire like buildings and stuff through. Literally the creative aspect of Minecraft is being sourced out to an LLM. It's that insane. And of course, that is what it generated with Girl with Neon Hair. She looks like a fucking Picasso painting. Again, it's just AI stuff that you can then save and import it into your game. That is the future of a company like Microslop. That is what they actually want, okay? I want to just, when I make these videos, a lot of it is just giving you the context, okay? When they talk about they want to invest in franchises and care about gaming, these people were laying off tons of developers. They were shutting down tons of studios while they were chasing the next AI dragon. They put AI slop into Call of Duty, one of the most highest selling franchises, just to eke out better margins for themselves, okay? That is the state of corporate gaming, right? It doesn't matter who you bring into office, okay? The AI lady that's coming in, she probably agrees with some of that stuff more than anything because this is her business. This is her side of the tech industry coming in. I somehow imagine that Phil Spencer and for as much as I disagree with them, they probably were pushed to implement Copilot and all this crap, and they probably, if I had to hazard, left because this is not a direction they wanted to go down. And because of their resumes, they can probably get jobs and consult anywhere. Anyways, second, the return of Xbox. We're going to recommit to our core fans and players, those who've invested with us for 25 years, and the developers who build the expansive universes and experiences. Okay, well, this is only going to matter until you actually see games being made, right? Which is going to be years out. So point one and point two are the beautiful pieces of AI, or beautiful pieces of PR speak. Third, the future of play. Okay, this is important. To meet the moment, we're going to invent new business models and new ways of playing by leaning into what we already have. Iconic teams, characters, worlds that players love. We're not going to treat these worlds as static IPs to milk and monetize. I mean, what else was she going to say? Yeah, we're going to fucking AI slop the fuck out of Master Chief, boys. Okay? Marcus Phoenix? What are you talking about? The coalition of ordered governments? Talk about the coalition of ordered prompts, boys. No, she wasn't going to say that. I mean, that's too on the nose. That's too on the nose for anyone. We're going to build a shared platform and tools that empower developers and players to create and share their own stories. That almost sounds like they're going to make like a Roblox or Fortnite where you could just jump in and be like, Microslop, make me a world where Master Chief and Banjo are fighting together against Gruntilda's robot army. I don't know. That might be what they're going for. As monetization and AI evolve to influence this future, we're not going to chase short-term efficiency or flood our ecosystems with soulless AI slop. See, this statement would mean more to me if I didn't see you shitting all over Call of Duty, one of your most prized purchases, with the soulless AI slop. They've already started doing it, okay? Just to make a quick buck on the paid shit, why would I believe this sentence? Games are and always will be art crafted by humans and created with the innovative technology provided by us. You know what's also art? Software. Writing an operating system for the last few decades. Something like Microsoft, right? You know what happened with Microsoft Windows 11? It turned out into complete dog shit as of the last year and several patches ago, because it's just seemingly filled with AI slop code that has completely lost the plot on what should be a debloated, functional operating system, to the point where people who don't even think about operating systems are like, yeah, what about that Linux? What about that Mac OS? Because Microsoft sucks so many rotten eggs. The next 25 years belong to the teams who dare to build something surprising. I don't know if they're going to even last 25 years of the company, okay? They might not even last 2 months given with how layoffs happen. Something no one else is willing to try and have the patience to see it through. We've done it before, and I'm here to help do it again. I want to return the renegade spirit that built Xbox in the first place. It will require us to relentlessly question everything, revisit processes, protect what works, and be brave enough to change what does not. I'm going to tell you guys the reality of this, okay? She is an AI bro. That's her business. She is an AI bro. This is her business, okay? She loves artificial intelligence. This is a beautiful, crafted PR statement. But ultimately, it is just PR. For a company like Microsoft, that literally is worth $4 trillion as of me making this video, a lot of these companies that are invested into artificial intelligence, NVIDIA, for instance, $6.3 trillion. AI is the moneymaker for these guys. This is exactly why they're chasing it. They have never been this successful in their entire history until the AI craze came along. The problem with the AI stuff is that for the last 2 years, it honestly seemed like it was a huge deal for everyone, right? It was going to replace every single thing imaginable. But there have been researches done very recently where it seems like artificial intelligence, even the best Claude Opus, have only a 3 to 4% success rate when comparing their work to the freelance work of another human professional. So look, I'm not saying that AI is going away. It's not. It's a technology that's here, and I've made that a very important part of my videos. I even like to fuck around with local AIs here and there. Forget using search engines, I just load up local AIs all the time and do that shit for me. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it hallucinates, I'm always there to fact check it. What I don't really fuck with is all these cloud AIs that are obviously tracking all of my information, storing all of my shit, and probably using it without my consent. When it comes to AI stuff, it's not going away, but I don't think it's going to be as big as what it is. It's not that the bubble is going to pop, it's going to deflate pretty hard. It's still going to be there, the technology is still going to be around, but for companies like Microslop, I think they're putting all of their eggs into this basket, and it's only going to end terribly for everyone involved. I think for gamers out there, there's been so much bad news across the board, like for instance, Sony shutting down companies like Bluepoint, which literally were so underutilized. They're chasing live service dragons over at Sony because Sony can't afford to even do anything with AI. Microsoft's running with AI stuff because they think that if they put it into every single product that they have, it'll just constantly blow up the market cap for this product. That is the unfortunate reality of the situation. I'm not looking at her with this disdain. I'm looking at her because I know where she's coming from. I know what she's all about. I know that these AI things, looking at Microsoft for the last year, just looking at Windows alone, if you want to let anybody that was influencing that anywhere near Xbox or any division of Microsoft, it can only end in a bad way, okay? Microsoft lost their way for a long time, and no matter how you slice it, as long as you have the context, you'll know that putting in an AI bro is only going to be bad going forward. Maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm fucking wrong. But I don't think I am in this case. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Just like it if you dislike it, I am out.